riding out there in either your street car or a full-blown race car and seeing exactly what it can do. So there's no restrictions, you can just go out there and go as fast as you can.
Yeah, which is always good fun. Yeah. So yeah, I think you can complain about that. So yeah, it's great to see so many cars out there. One of the cars that's missing this weekend, I'm very disappointed to say, is Rob Mitchell and his little TX3 Laser. He's been doing an enormous amount of work on that car and bringing it up and doing a lot of engineering work on it as well. Bit of a shame that we don't see Rob out there. Up until recently, one of our very hard-working officials here at WANNEROO Raceway as well. So hopefully Rob will get that little TX3 Laser out there again. But we've still got a fairly quality group of cars out there, led at the moment out in the field by the car which is done up to look like one of the very early mobile racing team cars of Peter Brock, and that's Gary Udderston. Sorry, it's not Gary Udderston at all, it's Mendo Johnsevsky in the V8. In the V8 Commodore, yep. So he's one of the guys who's been the quickest this weekend, and of course we've got Gary Udderston out there in car number 8 as well, and Tony Mena, Peter Dybel out there in the saloon car Falcon. Andy Morrison out there in the BMW, who's been campaigning for several years in the State Speed Event Series. So looking forward to some great speed out there on the circuit during this event.
So these guys are having a rolling start, and of course Neville Zaccoli out there in that late model Camaro. That's one of the other quicker cars out there. So these first 3 cars, they were the quickest in Pragnell in session number 1. So let's see whether it can happen again now. So the red lights are off and away we go, and Udderson will be the first car down into turn number 1, and then we have Costa and Udderson. No, sorry, Udderson is out in front. Who's out in the second one? That's the Evo.
Yeah, that's the Evo 10 of Templeman, I think.
Yeah.
And we've also got the gold Golf R that's out there as well of Andrew Cox, which is a very, very quick car as well, and one of the sleeper cars you'd see on the road, because they don't look like they'd be anything particularly special, but my goodness, they're a quick car.
They are very, very quick car. Kim Edwards has got one.
Yeah.
And yeah, very, very quick, and they've got that peculiar exhaust note on
Yes,
them.
they have. Yeah, very. It sounds almost like the old 5-cylinder Audis or something like that.
Yeah, very different exhaust note coming out of the Volkswagens these days. As we wait for them to crest the top of the hill, and it should be Udderson, and it is. And here comes Zaccoli in the Camaro. So he's blown past the Mitsubishi Evo 10 as they head down into turn number 7 now. So this is where I suppose the rules of the sprint racing will come into play, because you're not allowed to actually go door handle to door handle with somebody. There must be some space between the car in front and the car behind you.
Yeah, definitely. As I said in the first race, you don't want to get too close to the people in front of you, because you're just going to end up getting caught up in what they're doing, and you're not going to do your quickest laps. That's one of the tricks that you always have when you're doing qualifying, which is what this is really like. It's like a 4-lap qualifying session, and you always want to make sure you've got plenty of room around you, so you can just go and do your own thing and keep your own lines and what have you. You don't want someone in front of you trying to distract you, or someone behind you trying to constantly be in the mirrors. So
we say that you don't need a race car to come and participate. If you have a look at the top couple of runners here, we've got full-blown race cars out there, but we've also got a couple of road cars which are in the top 4.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said earlier, you don't need to have a race car by any stretch of the imagination. You don't need to have racing seat belts. You don't need to have a racing seat. You don't need to have any of that sort of stuff. You just need to have a car. It just needs to be, obviously all the safety things on it working properly and good tyres, and then you just need a helmet and just wear something to cover you from neck to ankle and neck to wrist. So other than that, just get out there with a level 2 license. It costs about $100 a year, and you can use over and over and over again and have a bit of fun.
So first and second are full-blown race cars. Then we've got P3 and P4. They are road cars, a Mitsubishi Evo 10 and the VW Golf.
Yep, exactly. And then you've got a little lightweight VK Commodore. A lot of guys like to get into these older model Commodores or older model cars in general, because they're generally a bit lighter in the shell than what some of the more modern cars are. They're a little bit lighter, and obviously then you don't need to spend quite so much money to make them go quick. And then you've got something like the R33 Nissan going up through the turn 4 just in front of the saloon car, another saloon car then behind them, and another saloon car behind them. So saloon car AU Falcons everywhere.
Yeah, so this was actually where Peter Dybel has been one of our committee members that's been pushing to have this sprint event included into our race meetings, and he's out there in the Pertec coloured car, and that car is getting very, very close to actual full-blown racing at the moment. It's pretty much a stock standard road-going engine in that car, and Peter going to put a saloon car registered engine in that very, very shortly and go and contest with 35 other Fords and Commodores out there as part of the saloon car racing in West Australia.
Yeah, it's been a fun racing. This car 58 of Tony Manor, the Nissan Skyline R33, that's just pulling off the... Actually, I don't think it's just pulling off the track.
Pulled off, yep.
We may have a yellow flag because we've got Andy Morrison off the track at the end of the straight there in his BMW. But I think that car used to race here, didn't it? Car 58, just coming out of turn 1 at the moment.
This one over here might be one of our street cars,
I
maybe.
think it may have been a street car for a few race meetings.
It looks very similar to Andrew Silvestras's car, but Andrew's still got his.
Yeah, it does indeed. Looks a little similar to how Sean McQueen's car started when he first started racing it as well, but I don't think it looks much like that anymore.
No, definitely not under the bonnet.
No, most certainly. But yeah, yellow flag down in turn 1 for Andy Morrison, who's just pulled his BMW
Checkered flag now
E30
anyway.
off the track. So yeah, these guys will be coming into the pits after a warm down lap.
Yeah, that's a pretty quick Evo 10 to take third position overall up against a V8 Camaro and a V8 Tirana. That's a pretty stout effort from that Mitsubishi Evo.
Yeah, it is. What sort of lap times was he doing? Where is he? He's third place, was
1
he?
minute 10. Yeah, 1 minute 10.4. His fastest was a 107 compared to a 106 from Udderson. So only 1 second difference between a full-blown V8 race car and a Mitsubishi Evo 10 road-driven.
Yep, not surprising though, really. I mean, you'd have to imagine that the handling of the Evo,
The technology.
and the technology and the
Yeah.
brakes and everything would be so much better than what they would be on the Tirana. But look, I don't know what the updates of the Tirana's had either, so I could be speaking out of my hat there because it may have had a fair few upgrades in the suspension and braking area. I don't know. I haven't looked at the car. Nonetheless, still some pretty impressive lap times that we had out there. The quickest car on the track that time was the Udderson car number 8, and that's that was the Tirana, wasn't it? So that did a 66.1. So not bad sort of road, not bad sort of times for these sort of cars.
And then 66.4 for Zoccoli. So again, it's only 0.3 of a second difference between the Tirana and the Camaro, and they were first and second on the racetrack. So as they head back into the paddock area, we'll get ready for our next of our 15 lap races.